everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now, if you are new here, welcome on in. My name is Tammy, and I am the owner of Lanacia Marie Candle Co. My apologies for any noise that you hear in the background. I do live in an enclosed area, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on downstairs. And also, my apologies for any mess that you see. I'm still in the process of cleaning up, but I thought I would go ahead and be productive today and record this video. Now, for those of you who are returning, welcome back. I always enjoy people coming back to watch the videos because I do it for you all. Now, in today's video, it is time. The time has come. It has been 2 weeks since I made the test candles, all 6 of them, and now it is time to spend this week testing them for their first burns. Now, the first burns are simply to see how they start off, how the hot throw is, how the wick performs, how hot the jar gets, and a couple of other things that I like to check for when I'm testing my candles. Now, without further ado, and me rambling on, let's get into it. So before we get started with the testing of the candles, I just wanted to say that I have applied for a couple of markets in the fall. I just submitted my application for one market that has multiple dates, so I picked multiple dates for that one. I did that yesterday. This one is going to be my most expensive one, but it's also a package of 2 days, so it's a weekend. So the price divided would pretty much come out to what I allocated for myself to pay for markets in my first year. And then the other ones is through my community, and then there's one also that I found that I'm going to apply for as well. So there's three more, one, two, three more I have to apply for. Two I can do now. One I have to wait for the applications to come out. But I just wanted to give that little update, that little news. So hopefully all these new products will be done by October, most of them, and I can debut them at the markets there. So I'm kind of excited. Now, with all the news out of the way, I did um, do testing this week. This is the first week that I did testing on all 6 candles, and I'm so glad the wait is over because I like to let my candles sit like they recommend 2 weeks because it is soy wax. Um, but this is going to be the first burn for all 6 candles, and I'm just looking for the basic things to happen or not happen during these burn tests. So I'm not going to talk any further. I'll do some more talking afterwards, and I'm going to show you guys my process for this week with the candles. Good morning, everyone. It is the first day of testing, um, and today I am testing at 8:02 in the morning. The first candle of the 6. This one is the pumpkin chai candle. And I already broke my own rules of not trimming my wick beforehand. Um, but that's okay. We're gonna let this one burn here. And right now, the flame to me is a little high, and I think that's just because I didn't trim the wick. But I'll be moving this candle away from here because this is not normally where I test my candles. I usually set it up on a table to let it have its own space. But this is the first candle I'm testing today. The second one will be the winter candle later on today. I am checking for how high the wick is. I'm also checking for the hot throw on this. And I'm checking for how hot the jar gets. And I'm also checking to see how well the wick performs. I think for this one, it is the Premier 770. So Yeah, I'm checking to see this one. This one's on the higher end. But we're going to see. We're going to burn this for 4 hours. And then we're going to burn the other one for 4 hours as well. Okay, so this is how I test the temperature for my candles. I use my temperature gun here. And what I do is I point it at the side and check for the temperature. And right there it is 101.3. That's a little higher than I want it to be for the first hour. So I'm already seeing signs that this wick might not be the right one for this jar, especially seeing as the melt pool is almost to the edge of the container. Now, I could be wrong because I'm still fairly new. Well, I feel I'm fairly new to testing, but there's something that I look for when it comes to testing my candles, and that melt pool being that far ahead within the first hour is a little concerning to me. So I'm going to continue to test this candle here, continue to see how this wick performs because this is my first time using Premier wicks. And we'll see how the winter one performs later on today because that's a different size wick. But yeah, this is after the first hour of burning, and we have 3 more hours to go. Okay, so it is 3 o'clock, and I'm going to go ahead and start testing my winter candle for the day. And I'm going to trim the wick. So let's get this started so that the testing can go. This time, we're going to trim this wick down some. Light this. Alright, so this is the 3rd hour of testing, and as you can see, this flame is a lot smaller than the other candle. There is less mushrooming on the wick there, but I'm a little concerned, but not too much, about the wax looking like it's tunneling a bit, but it's only the 3rd hour, and we'll see what happens after the 4th hour on the winter candle because that wax could catch up. So it's not a fail for me. It's just that I don't want the candle to completely tunnel down. But it looks like this wick is doing okay in this type of candle. Okay, it is now the final hour of burning, and as you can see, there's still some wax buildup on the side there. So it looks like it's a little bit of tunneling. I'm gonna leave it at that, and then we're gonna see how it performs on the second burn. My final results on this first burn test for the winter candle. The smell is very subtle. It does fill the room, so it gives it a nice aroma. The flame, I really like the height of it. It's not as big as the other one. There is not a lot of mushrooming on the end there of the wick. The wax, however, like I said, is still built up on the side, but we'll see how the second burn and the third burn goes and see if it catches up. It still has a little more time to burn, about a half an hour to go. So we'll just see what happens in that half an hour. But that is it for today's burn test. We did the fall candle and the winter candle. And tomorrow we'll be testing my what is called my relaxation collection. So we're going to be testing those 2 tomorrow. And then the following day, fingers crossed, we'll be testing the Escape collection that I created. So there's 2 candles in those two collections, and then I have the winter candle and the fall candle. All right, it is the second day of testing, and today we are testing the relaxation collection. I'm only making two of the four candles from this collection, and this one is Dreamy Drift, and we have the Premier 770 wick that we are going to use. This one has 8% fragrance oil in it, and this is the one that when I first made it, it was really strong to cold throw, but as it cured, it has gone down some. Now I still want to do 6% in it, but for now we're gonna test the 8% fragrance oil and see how it works. So let's go ahead and light it. Okay, and we're going to perform the same thing we did yesterday with the fall and winter candle. So this is the first hour of the burn test. All right, so I'm back again, and I am now in the end, almost to the end of the third hour with this burn test. I was a little MIA for the second hour and the first hour. Well, more so the second hour because I was washing my hair, but that's besides the point. So far, the verdict on this at the third hour is the scent is finally coming through. It seems like it's going to be one of those candles where the scent is going to take some time to come through. And I think it came through in the 2 o'clock, sorry, the second hour of it burning. But it's coming through and it smells really good. And it's starting to fill up the room. As far as the wick goes, there is a little bit of mushrooming I'm seeing on the tip there of the wick, but it's not too bad. The flame is kind of high, but not too high. And then the jar is, it is a little hot, but you can still pick it up if you wanted to. So that's not too bad. There is some wax buildup on the sides there, which hopefully will start to melt down within the fourth hour. Right now it's doing a little flickering, and that's because there's a slight draft in here. But other than that, I'm going to continue testing this candle. And yeah, it does smell good. I'm really starting to smell it more so now than when I first lit it. But that is the update for the third hour, and I will come back for the final hour. Okay, so my apologies. I just blew out the flame to to the candle, but as you can see, the wax has reached for the most part the edge of the container, and it's hot to the touch. So I'm not sure about this wick because that's the second candle that's been like that. But the hot throw continued to stay, and it continued to burn. There was a little bit more mushrooming I can see. So that's what I mean when I say mushrooming. See how the wick has like these little buds on the end of it? That's what's called mushrooming. And the temp was 112. So it went from 109 to 112. The jar is hot, but I now have to determine whether or not, let's see. Well, I could still pick it up without getting like burned with it. And of course there is no surface damage up under the candle. So that is the end of the burn test for Dreamy Drift. It performed pretty good. But of course, this is only the first burn. We now have to wait for the next couple of burns to go through to see how it actually performs fully. And of course, when it gets to the bottom. But that is it for Dreamy Drift. The next one we are going to test is Coastal Comfort. And that one is it has a little more wax to it. So I am a little concerned as to how it's going to burn. But I am noticing that there is some bubbles there. So there might be a wet spot, not a wet spot. There might be a sinkhole on that side. So once it's solidified, then I will go ahead and test that out and see what's on that side. But yeah, that is it for Dreamy Drift until the next burn. And up next is Coastal Comfort. All right, so I just finished doing the first three candles of their first burn test this week, and I am going to continue in the next video with the final three candles so you guys can see how they burned, how they fared. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. My links are in the description down below, as well as my Etsy shop and my email list. You can sign up for that and get 15% off on your first purchase of a Lanacia Marie candle. But yeah, we are going to pick it up in the next video. So I am going to cut it here. I hope you all enjoyed this one here, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. All right, everyone, take care.